Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing pretty well. I hope you guys recovered from the holidays here. I think this video is probably going to go up in January. It's actually December 20, what's today's date? 26th, the day after Christmas, and I'm actually making this video here. So I'm probably going to hold off on it and probably release it in January. So with that said, I'm going to be washing the Camaro. I'm going to be using a Pans soap on this one. So I'm going to be using the Clean by Pans shampoo here. And we'll talk about this in a second here. Now, the reason I'm washing the Camaro is dirty in the sense that I parked it outside of the garage here, as I had the Equinox in the garage because I had a project that I wanted to paint the calipers on the Equinox side. So they're now red. I used the G2 caliper paint kit, so that I painted them red. I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint them red. They'll look great with the red line package that's on there with the black and red accents on the Equinox. Well, I had the wheels off. I was like, you know what? I have them off. That was a perfect opportunity to polish and ceramic coat the wheels, which I did. I've been wanting to do that for a while too, and I was like, this is a perfect opportunity since I had the wheels off, and I wanted to just knock that one out. That's gonna be a longer style format video when it does come out. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna be putting that one out first or this one out first. Kind of just play around with it, but if that one's out first, it's a longer format video. If it hasn't been out, then you can just go and watch that once I release it. But that one's going to be a good video in the sense that I go over the topic of not just applying a coating to the wheels, but also kind of answering the question is, do we need a dedicated wheel coating? And so I go on the topic of a wheel coating versus paint coating, coating temperature resistance, that type of thing. Then I go over the application of CarPro D-Quartz Go, and then the application of CarPro C-Quartz SIC. So I think it's a pretty cool video. Definitely check it out when it does come out. Again, it's just I think it's just a great video there. Again, I was just want to bring you along during the process as I was coating the wheels there. Now, because the Camaro is dirty in the sense that it just stayed outside for those few days, morning dew, dust, and then it did drizzle, so the car is just kind of dirty. And I was like, you know what, it's a perfect opportunity to give Clean by Pan shampoo a shot on this. Oh, the crows are really out there. I was like, let me just go ahead and give this a shot. I've used it a couple times. When Pan sent me this, I used it a couple times already, and then I was like, you know what, I need to do a video on it, and I just completely got sidetracked, and it just kind of sat on the back burner. And I was like, you know what, I still have this to show on camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use this. We're gonna use this as a pre-foam because the car is not super dirty, and then we're gonna use it as a bucket wash during the contact wash process. I'm gonna wash the wheels and tires first, so when you come back, I'm gonna show you the foaming process of the soap and just show you how the Camaro looks like right now at the moment. What I do want to show you is I want to show you the consistency of this. Now, before we get to the consistency here, the directions are pretty straightforward. In the foam cannon, use 1 ounce of product for good foam, 2 ounces for super thick foam. So pretty straightforward, right? In the wash bucket, mix 2 ounces of product with 4 gallons of water. So the dilution for this is 256:1. Use a premium microfiber wash mitt. Clean in long linear motions. Rinse off suds and dry the vehicle. So that's pretty straightforward. I mean, it can't get any simpler than that. Again, we got the nice labels on here, the nice bottling, the cap to dispense it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour out. I have like 4 gallons in the bucket already, and I want to just show you the consistency is rather thin. So you can see how thin it is. So I'm going to just go ahead and prep my solution here. So I'm going to squeeze out to the 60 milliliter mark, which is basically 2 ounces. You can see the color of it looks pretty good, which is basically the color of the label here. So let me just show you what that looks like. And from a scent perspective, it smells really nice. It has that nice fresh scent. Now again, I already used this a couple times, and I will state that it does rinse off clean, it has good lubricity, and it foams really well. Again, you're going to want to play around with it with what type of foam you're looking for. If you want the thick foam, you're going to want to use 2 ounces in your foam cannon at all times. Now, I am going to cheat this time in the sense that I'm going to be using the Griot's foam cannon, but I'm going to be using the purple metering tip, which just happened to fall out of the foam cannon. So it's this little purple metering tip, and what this does is when you have the manifold off, so this is the manifold for the Griots, you pop this little guy in here, and you just push it in, You just pop it in the little stainless steel ball just like that. And so I took the cap off the soap, and it has the threads in there for the second for the bottle. I'm just going to dump this in here, and I'm going to let the purple metering tip pretty much dilute the product for me. And so this is what it's going to look like once you're out on there. So it's going to be on the bottle like so. I'll probably turn it one more time here just to kind of tighten it so it doesn't fall off. So again, you can just, this is the beauty of the Griot's foam cannon, is it has the purple metering tips. I can just use this to dispense product for me. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and that's going to be my process for foaming on the vehicle. So I'm going to let the Griot's metering tip do the work for me, rather than me putting water in my foam cannon of choice and then just go ahead and put the soap in there. Again, you can play around with it. I'm going to do the lazy method and using the Griot's foam cannon to do the metering for me. So let me get to finishing washing the wheels and tires real quick, and then I'll show you the foaming of the soap, and then we'll kind of go over the what do you call it, the contact wash, and kind of just talk about the lubricity and stuff like that, and then we'll go for the final rinse just to kind of show you how it rinses off clean. So let me come back with that, and we'll take a look at it. So be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back here. So I'm about to foam it. So I have again on the Griot's manifold there, just to give you an idea how dirty it looks. So this is what it looks like, again, just from staying outside in the morning dew and all that. And let's see how this pan's soap kind of foams here. We kind of just get the hose set up here. Adjust the piece here. So that's out of the metering tip. So you would get the same amount of foam if you did the 2 ounces in the foam cannon. You can see it's pretty thick on there coming out. I'm using the foam cannon to do the work. Looks like it's starting to break down some stuff in there. Get some better coverage in there. So I'm going to go let this kind of sit and do its thing. I'm going to get the hose because it's now stuck in the back. It's stuck behind the rear tire. Yeah, I'm going to just let this sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to just rinse it off. You can see it comes out real thick from the bottle. Kind of just letting it do its thing, and then of course it's going to be bringing dirt and stuff down. Again, I don't have a lot of heavy dirt, which it looks like I didn't get even coverage, so just blast it as you wish. And it doesn't feel like I'm kind of just looking through the sun here. I still have about half a bottle of this. Again, I've used it a few times already, so I'm just gonna let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and rinse it off. So I'll come back to you when I rinse it off, just to kind of show you, to see how well it cleaned. Again, the car is not super dirty in the sense that I'm cleaning road grime on there. So again, I was taking the lazy method, just using this. I think it just works just perfectly fine, and you can see that the foam is already starting to kind of bring stuff down here, kind of breaking some things down. You can see it actually moving there, so it's actually doing its thing. So let me kind of just oops, hitting the trigger there, and pop this off the foam cannon here. I'm going to put the nozzle back on there, but yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm going to just let this do its thing and let it sit. You can kind of see it moving down. You can see it moving pretty slow, but it's moving things down. That's what you want. So I'm going to let this sit for a few more minutes. I'll come back to you, and then we'll rinse it off and see how how it rinses off clean. I'll refoam it and we'll go over the contact wash, but so far it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Just kind of inspecting it here. I had some like caked on stuff here. Yeah, like this little thing here. We'll see if that comes off. We'll see how some of this stuff comes off. So let me come back to you in a couple more minutes. Let me just get set up here. Alright guys, I'm back. So it's kind of gotten to the point where it's almost run off the side panels. Of course on the flat surfaces it's going to stick around longer because of gravity. Let me just go ahead and rinse this section off here, and we'll see if it does clean it, because you can see that some dirt in there. So we'll see how the soap did in terms of a pre-foam and then me just rinsing it off. So we're getting a combination of both cleaning from the soap, the detergent, and also the pressure from the pressure washer from the water. Okay, so let's take a look and see if it kind of... So it still left this little guy in here, so I don't know what that is. But the rest of it here looks relatively clean. There's a couple things that are caked on. You can see that little black thing right there where my nozzle's pointing. So again, it didn't completely get it off, but it got most of the dirt off to the point where I can refoam it and then come back to the contact wash. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. So let me just go ahead and finish rinsing this off. I'll come back to you after the foaming process. I'll come back to you and then I will show you the contact wash. We'll talk about lubricity and all that good stuff. So I'll be right back with that. Let me just go ahead and rinse this off. I'm trying to take advantage of the daylight that I have before it gets dark on me. I'll be right back. Alright everyone, welcome back here. So I refoamed it and I have the soap in the bucket, and it actually has some real nice suds in the bucket. Instead, I've used this before already. I have a couple of wash mitts. I really only need one because again, I'm not washing road grime, so I'm just only gonna do the hood here for demonstration purposes. But this is one of the nicest soaps you're gonna use. It has some real nice lubrication on the surface. I mean, like really nice, where your mitt's gonna just glide on there effortlessly, which is what you like in a soap. And again, just glides on there, no pressure. Just let the the weight of your hand and the mitt do its job. Let me go ahead and clean this piece of vinyl here, and then I'll just go ahead and show you on the glass. Again, real nice, user-friendly soap here. Again, this is also glass on the top of the T-tops. So again, real nice soap. I'm just going to do all the glass since I have the mitt in my hand. We'll just wash all the glass. I'm not too concerned about scratching the glass. The beauty of this car is it's mostly glass, with the T-tops and then of course the side glass. So I'm not really scratching anything with this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just go around it like this, finish it off, and then I'm gonna go around the rest of the car. The other nice thing about this car is that it's really small and I can knock this out real fast. I'll come back to you and I'll show you the rinse off process. I'll show you how easy it is to rinse off. Actually, maybe I can just do it now. Let me just go ahead and finish washing this. I'll come back to you. I'll show you what it's like to rinse this off, and I'll show you how clean it rinses off. I'll show you it doesn't mask the hydrophobic properties of your coating, and we'll go from there and we'll do final thoughts after that. So I'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back here. So I'm done with the contact wash, and I will show you that it doesn't impact the coating on the car, and that it is relatively, I should say, clean. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to re-polish that vinyl piece. I'm actually going to put an actual vinyl coating on there that has the jade sapphire. The helicopter decided to come over right now. Wait till it passes over. Alright, so that's yeah, the helicopter just started to pass over here, but let me just rinse this off. I'll show you how it is to rinse off clean on darker surfaces here. And you can see it just doesn't mask the hydrophobic properties. The surface is clean. That's all we can ask for here with the soap here. It does a real good job. Let me come back to you with final thoughts, but let me just finish rinsing this off, drying it off, pull in the garage, and I'll come back to you for final thoughts after I'm done with the entire wash process. And we'll talk about clean by pan, we'll talk about the way it foams, the contact wash portion, lubricity, all that good stuff. So let me just go ahead and finish doing this. I'll be right back for you guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to the final thoughts section for clean by pan car shampoo here. Now I'm going to interchange shampoo and soap to basically the same thing here, but I do want to say thank you to Pan for sending this out to me to try out a few months ago. I've used it a couple times already, and before I use it on camera. So again, I appreciate Pan for sending this out to me, and I will say it's a great shampoo. Definitely add this to your list of products to try. I think it's worth trying. I think it does a great job with that. So let's kind of break it down here for a minute. Let's talk about the looks. Again, the bottle looks great. The labeling looks great. The one thing to keep in mind is that these are white bottles, so they are going to get dirty. You can see there's dirt on there. I just wipe it down and clean it right back up, put it back on the shelf, and again, it looks really nice on the shelf as well. Little fun fact, the color of the ribbon here is actually the color of the product inside. So that's pretty cool. That way you can kind of see, it's like, oh, okay, that the color matches on there. So again, it's the same color as that's on there. The other thing I like about this is the directions are really nice and giving you the dilution for it, which is 256 to 1. That's really helpful because sometimes you get brands and different manufacturers that say fill up a 5-gallon bucket and then add 1 to 2 ounces. That really doesn't really make it clear as to what the proper dilution ratio is. And so we're always constantly trying to figure out, okay, if I add 2 ounces, I can add an ounce, I could add 3, that type of thing. And the other thing I appreciate for him is that he adds the dilutions for the foam cannon. Sometimes manufacturers don't even add that, and so we don't know how much to put in the foam cannon. So at least he has that, and he has 2 options. You can do 1 ounce if you want that wet foam, or you can do 2 ounces if you want that very thick foam. Now I cheated. I chose to use the Griot's metering tip from the foam cannon to do the dilution for me. And so that gave me more of the foam that's close to the 2 ounce use of the product in the foam cannon, which is the thicker foam. I played around with 1 ounce as well. I think 1 ounce works great too. I have no problem with that. It's more of the wet foam, kind of like what CarPro Reset does. It's more of that wet style foam. Again, I have no problem with that, or G-Technic G-Wash, very similar to that. But overall, I'm okay with just using 1 ounce in the foam cannon. Now, as far as the pre-foam process here, you saw that my Camaro wasn't super dirty. The car was stayed outside for like 4 days while I was painting the calipers on the Equinox, and I was polishing and ceramic coating the wheels. So it was roughly about 4 days. I was just taking my time. I had no rush. I would just go based on motivation to get that project done. But yeah, in that time, the car accumulated dirt and dust from staying outside. And then, of course, it was morning dew. And then there was a couple days where it was really foggy. And it was basically like mist outside. So the car did get dirty from that. And then, of course, it drizzled on Christmas Day. Other than that, it's been a relatively dry winter so far. I don't see snow in my area because I'm in the Southern California area near the beach. I'm like 4 miles in or 5 miles in from the beach, so it doesn't get that cold here. So I can't speak to how well this cleans in harsh conditions, but I'll tell you what, go watch Pan's videos. He's got a couple of videos where he shows the cleaning ability of the soap, which is very impressive. I mean, it's right up there with some of the best cleaning soaps, like a Car Pro Reset. You know, it's right up there. So from the pre-foam standpoint, it cleaned my car just fine. I think it did great to remove a lot of the dirt and grime that was on the mostly dirt and dust. Let's put it that way, dirt and dust on the surface. I didn't want to do a rinseless wash. I want to do a regular contact wash, and so be it. My cars are relatively clean most of the time, but yeah, this did a great job to remove that. And then I did the 256-to-1 dilution in the bucket, 2 ounces into 4 gallons of water. For this car, I probably could have used less. I probably could have went 3 gallons and then mixed it that way, but I had already filled the bucket at that point for it. So in the contact wash, I will say this. This has some of the best lubrication that I've felt under a car soap. You know, it just makes it for a top tier soap, and it's a very nice user experience as your mitts just lay on the surface. That's what makes a quality soap, as it reduces the chance of marring during the wash process. So again, I appreciate that there's some very good lubrication in here. Again, we know the cleaning power is there. The scent, I think the scent is nice, not overly powerful. So I think it has the right amount of scent to it. Honestly, I didn't even pay attention to it while I was during the wash process. So again, it's just nothing overpowering in there. And then let's talk about the way it rinses off. It rinses completely clean, which is really nice. I don't have to constantly go over the panel with water to get it off. There's sometimes some soap takes forever to rinse off. This is not one of them. So I do like that it rinses off really clean, so it didn't mask my hydrophobics from the coating. So a very nice feature of it. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to touch on is the consistency of it. I like that Pan went the thin route because it makes it easier to mix in your foam cannon and makes it easier to mix into your bucket. Sometimes you get a soap that's on the thick side, like an Adam's Car Shampoo or even DIY Incredible Suds, where they're on the thick side, and it takes a little bit more mixing to kind of mix that soap in there. So I appreciate that he went the thin consistency route, like a Car Pro Reset or a Amarita Supply Shampoo Plus, an Apex Auto Wash. Like I like that consistency of those. Again, very nice foam from this, very nice in the contact wash. I think it's a great option for a car soap if you're looking for something new to try. I would definitely recommend trying this out. Add it to your cart. While you're at it, add the rinseless wash. I think you should add that as well because they're both great wash products there. But yeah, I enjoyed using it. I have nothing else to say about it. I think it's a top tier product. I think it competes with some of the best soaps on the market. And I know people are going to say, well, is it the best soap on the market? As I stated, like in the rinseless wash, there is no best product. Best is all subjective to what you think is the best. So I'm just encouraging you to try it and see if you consider it the best. But I'm going to just say it's a top tier car shampoo. I enjoyed using it, and it does a great job. And I would definitely buy another bottle of this because I think it's that good. It gives me vibes of like Amarita Supply Shampoo Plus. Like, it gives me those type of vibes. So I think Pan did a great job with this one here. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say about this. So if you've used this, post down below. If you haven't, are you interested in trying this out? I think it's worth trying. If you're looking for a new soap to try, definitely add this to the list. Like I said, when you're buying this, buy the rinseless wash because I think they're both two great products to own and have on your shelf to try out. I think that's all I have. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Post your comments down below. And again, thanks for watching, everyone. I think I'm gonna hold this video till January. That way I can start off the year in the right way. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. Happy New Year, and we'll see what 2025 brings for us. So take care, and yeah, post down below.